Hey Internet, welcome to Friday. In any case, welcome to Friday. If it is Friday for you, it's definitely Friday for me. Feels like a Friday. So today I think we wanted to just bring up the idea of grades, and sort of, I guess, a couple of things around grades, but uh, what I've been struggling with is not actually grades themselves because I don't get graded in the program that I'm currently enrolled in. However, the idea of grades, the idea of getting good marks, perfect marks, near perfect marks, great marks, the idea of getting little gold stars, the idea of trying to be at the top of your class, that sort of feeling or set of feeling, the essence of that is still very present. And when I was in school, I really struggled with sort of the delta or the divergence really between learning the material well and getting good grades or trying to get good grades. Also, my upstairs neighbor is up. Hopefully, I didn't wake he, she, or them up. But in any case, let's keep going forward. Um, anyway, like in college and university, I found it was really tough sometimes because there were a lot of hoops. I, I don't know why I'm doing this, but there were hoops to jump through. There were sort of requirements that you would need to follow in order to get a good grade in class. And I found that there was often a divergence between sort of what you would do to get or try to get a good grade and what you would do to sort of master or internalize the material. Sadly, I was a little bit insecure in college, so I often went for the better grades approach rather than the mastering material. And I found in my boot camp that sometimes I'm still sort of anxious to sort of be at the top of my class or try to be at the top of my class in terms of performance. Just checking that the video is still recording. And it feels really foolish, feels really silly. Knowing what I know now, I know that grades are really not that important. They're just one of many indicators of performance or future performance. There's a sort of an odd correlation between grades and sort of like life outcomes. There's a traditional thing about, A students end up working for C students, stuff like that. But I just found that I wasted so much time in college thinking and worrying about grades, and I don't want to make the same mistake now, even though there are no grades per se. But I'm really struggling and trying to work through how to not obsess around getting everything right and rather sort of getting things and letting things in, sort of internalizing again. And I am really trying to work towards the idea of function over elegance, I guess, because you can write really elegant code, which I think is a good thing to aspire to. But for me, it's rather than learn how to write a small amount of code that is elegant, or sort of rather, I guess I should say this in a different way, rather write code for a small amount of things that is very elegant. I would rather, at least sort of in the initial stages of my learning process, focus on sort of learning how to do a lot of things well, but not in necessarily the elegant, perfect, idealistic, I've been coding for 10 years, I'm a senior dev kind of a way. And so I don't know if you feel that way, if you struggle sort of sometimes when learning to program with the idea of wanting to be really, really good and really do really well at something, particularly if you're in a cohort or if you look and compare yourself to some of your peers or what you perceive as peers. I don't know if you have sort of, I'm going to check my watch again. Sometimes my Apple Watch will just stop recording with my phone. It's really dumb. But I don't know if you sort of have the thing where you you see a divergence between trying to learn the material that you're studying in order to LGC learn to code, and what you might do if you like wanted to fluff up your feathers, or sort of even just like aspire towards perfection, because we know, or many people believe, myself included, that like perfection is for many things just very counterproductive. And I think when you're first learning to code, striving towards perfection is going to create a lot of friction. So I would love to know what you think. We would love to know what you think. As always, there were comments and other opportunities to connect with us. In summary, this video was essentially supposed to be about sort of the delta between learning something and doing something for grades, or sort of external validation. And the second sort of related topic was sort of just a discussion or reflection on, although my program does not have technically it does not have grades, or like does not have marks per se, I still find myself sort of going through the behaviors and behaving, or taking actions as though there were grades, and I find that personally a little bit frustrating. So if you have tips, tricks, ideas around how I can overcome my own obstacles in the process of learning to code, particularly like learning to code in a cohort of people who are all generally really smart and or motivated, so those are things I would love to hear from you. So, or we would love to hear from you. All of us, we're one big family. Okay, that was corny. I'm gonna go. You should go. Go is like apparently a very cool language, so you could go learn that. But I'm gonna stick with, I think, Ruby, Python, JavaScript, at least for now. So yeah. All right. Happy Friday, and I'll catch you later. Bye.